let's talk about the news briefly. And the main thing in here is that the WGA, the Writers Guild of America, is about to, I guess, renew or redo their contract on May 1st. It's about to expire. That usually means they set a bunch of demands and they will probably go on strike until they can somewhat reach an agreement of what they want to be changed in here. And the most pressing issue, especially for writers, even more than for any of the other guilds, is AI. The potential of AI to be able to write part of scripts, maybe outlines, maybe full ideas, or even the most part of a script. The clauses that are in here that the WGA is about to set is that anything an AI writes is not considered literary material. They have the terminology there for anything a writer does, anything a someone who's in the WGA does. When they write something, it is considered literary material. So even if you base your story on something an AI has spouted out as an idea, it would still be considered an original screenplay, not adaptation of an idea an AI has come up with. I don't know what the terminology is for AI being creative. It's interesting because Lachlan, AI seems to be coming first for all of the creative jobs. And yeah, what do you think about this? What's the potential future of this? Is WGA tackling it in a good way? Do you think this will cover it, or is still going to
Look,
have
I
issues?
think that the word AI is being misused here because what we're referring to is this program called ChatGTP or a
Yeah.
form of it where it is able to form sentences based on a preset of information. So
Hmm.
ChatGTP 3 was based on stuff from 2021 and previous to that, and now
Yeah.
there's newer versions coming out with Bing, ChatGTP 4, etc., etc. They're getting smarter and smarter, and it's getting better and better at forming things. Funnily enough, I've recently gotten back into writing stuff,
Hmm.
and there have been moments where I haven't really known where I've wanted to go with a story, and I have used the way of using ChatGPT to form the next layer of that screenplay.
Yeah.
I think that we're just in a spot where people are going to just abuse it and use it to create an entire screenplay. That's not what it is. I think it's literally a great tool for the future.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if you use, but I use DuckDuckGo and they've got their own
Mm.
form of it when you search. And I find it really useful when I'm searching for very specific answers that it's
Yeah.
able to generate one of those answers for me in a very natural way.
Mhm.
So I think that they've done it in a way where you said that if they base an idea on AI's story
Yeah.
and they write around that, that's original.
Yeah.
That's fair. Because if you can feed this device, this tool prompts to spit something out,
Mhm.
then it's going to definitely help out with writer's block, which something people suffer from quite a bit when you're trying to figure out where to go. As I said,
Mhm.
I think it's a great tool. I don't think it's a replacement. There's no way it's going to replace
No, 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 no.
writers or anything like that, but it's definitely a very powerful tool that I have been recently using, and
Yeah.
it does help in a number of situations. So,
Mhm.
have you used it much in like
I
playing? Because did I show you that like Tarantino versus what did I do? What did I do? I got Tarantino and James Cameron to argue which 2009 movie was better, Inglorious Bastards or Avatar, and I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
ChatGTP to make a screenplay of that, and that was fun. That was actually
Yeah.
quite an enjoyable moment. But
Mhm.
have you played around with it much?
I have. I mean, I try to do the thing of making it predict the Oscars, but because the base set is at the moment limited, and the Bing one, I guess, it has, I guess, access to the internet. It's still, I couldn't really work around it. I know there's some workarounds to it, but I haven't played that much with it just yet. But I feel like there's the potential for a bunch of stuff that it could just give you ideas and push you into directions, but it doesn't replace the creative work just yet. I think something that is way more controversial as well, because I feel like the issue with AI is at the center of it all, you basing it on everything before, and that's also in some sort of way copyrighted. But then when you just base the idea and create something, I guess, kind of new with the AI, then it like legally, it's so like not just legally because like that's the boring mumbo jumbo, but also especially in the creative work when, for example, Adobe is coming out with Firefly, which is this library that you can just type in prompts and then it just gives you the assets and it bases it on all of the stuff that is in the Adobe suite library of people that have uploaded their stock stuff onto there. Then everyone who's uploaded their stuff can like it's not their images that are being used, I guess, anymore, but then the prompts that that you create and then it just makes something new, and that's like exciting to use it as a feature, but then also not so exciting for the people who used to create that stuff. It's a bit like, to me, it's like I don't know if I love it. I love it when I use it, but then when I think about it more, I'm like, oof, okay, I'm not the biggest fan of it.
It's I don't know if this is the right phrase to use, but it's a bit of a double-edged sword in the
Yeah,
sense that
for sure.
with this very specific example of Adobe, if you're creating a large scene, let's say you're creating a large, because another thing I've been doing is playing around with 3D environments. If you're trying to
Mhm.
create a large 3D environment, getting those really, I guess, tedious tasks of forming an environment, if an AI could just, if you could just type in a prompt, create a rainforest, and then you
Yeah,
go in and change the details, that is a
that would be great.
that
Yeah.
is a great tool to be
Mhm.
able to use. And I guess it's the same thing with this Adobe suite. If you're creating an image and there's this one part that you're really struggling with and you can get AI to generate that for you, but then you go in and change it, that's where it is. If you're just using AI to create the image, that's not being creative. But if
Exactly.
you're
Yeah.
using it as a tool and then forming something from that, as we said earlier, with like the prompts that AI can give you, if you chuck in a couple ideas and get it to spit something back out you and you write from that,
Yeah.
that's it being a tool, not
Mhm.
it being a writer or a creative. So, look, we're in a very early phase of AI being
Exactly. But
good, I
it's,
guess.
yeah, it's a thing of like, what I don't know, whichever law it is, there's like a thing that like tech, uh, I guess, kind of doubles each year or something like that.
Mm.
Incrementally, they exponentially, I guess, not incrementally. It gets more powerful, and I feel like with AI, that's even more the case where it's really hard to predict where we'll end up because there's a lot of like safety guards like that are put onto it, and limitations, and you can see it constantly like breaking out as
Because
well.
everybody who works for that company that's putting these safety guards is tasked with watching Terminator. That is literally everyone's basis on how far AI can go.
I mean, it could. I mean, like when once it gets to a point, if it gets there, which I don't know. I got no idea about tech stuff. When an AI can create another AI, that like the self sufficient thing. I
Yeah,
think that's like a bit of a breaking point, but
that's the
um,
stopping point.
because like as soon as it was implemented in a lot of like these places, even early on a couple of years ago, I think there was one that was kind of based with Twitter,
Facebook's one?
and yeah, like Facebook or Twitter, I don't remember, and it just got racist. And it's like, okay, well, it's just like if you're
Probably
feeding off the
Facebook.
internet, probably not the best place. Well, Twitter is probably equally bad. Um,
Yeah,
but
great.
but yeah, something unrelated. They're
Funny
getting rid.
story about
Yeah,
Twitter.
yeah.
I re-downloaded it. You might have
You
noticed.
did. Yeah, no, it's just to retweet that we're going to Cannes, which, by the way, another
Yeah.
reminder, we're going to Cannes. No, Twitter is getting rid of all of the legacy verified people that actually got verified. And I think from next month on or something like that, there will only be the Twitter Blue play people. And I think I saw like a really fun tweet. Who was it? Drew Gooden or something? I'm paraphrasing. It's somewhat great because before you had to click on a profile to see if like it's a loser who has Twitter Blue or if it's like an actually notable person. And after this, you just know it's a loser. And it's a
Yeah.
really fun thing. You don't have to wonder anymore. But yeah, that's that. There's some cringe stuff that's happening in tech, but AI is something that I will closely, both of us will closely follow because the clickbait is all worth it in a sense because it does hold pretty much limitless potential if used in the right circumstances. And I feel like we'll get way more of those like Firefly type of stuff, and not just the headlines of I guess teachers having to deal with not so original essays being handed in all the time.
Mm.